Welcome back to the eSIMstudios YouTube channel. Got a case review for the new OnePlus 15. It is the Poetic Revolution. The Poetic Revolution. Now, I've got a subscriber that wanted me to purchase this, review it, so they can see what it looks like on the new OnePlus 15. If there's a case out there that you're considering getting, but not quite sure how it would look, how it would fit on the device, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what case you're considering getting. I'll go ahead and get it, review it, so you can see what it looks like on the device. Now, I purchased this a day or two ago. I'm going to put a link down in the description for this case, the Poetic Revolution case for the OnePlus 15. Pretty interesting. It's got a hardback, it's got a slide cover, it's got a prop for the device. It comes with a screen protector as well, and it comes in multiple parts. So we'll take it apart and put it back together with the phone inside. And it looks like it's pretty heavy duty. It looks like it provides military grade drop protection, right? They claim it's got 4 air pockets, but check this out. They claim they've drop tested it over 4,500 times at 20 feet. So no way to verify that, but we'll, I guess, take their word for it. But if you want this case, they have this in a few different colors. They have it on sale as well. $20 coupon price. You can get it in black. We got ours in black. And then there is a light blue and a purple. So this purple would go good with the purple OnePlus 15. The light blue would go good with either sandstone or black. And the black would go good with sandstone or black. So depending on what color OnePlus 15 you got, I went ahead and got the black one because I have the black phone and it should look pretty darn good. But if you're a OnePlus 15 user, subscribe to our channel. I have a lot more cases to do case reviews on. So we're going to cover this heavily, not just case reviews, but operating system. We're going to do camera comparisons versus the Pixel versus the S23 Ultra versus the iPhone 17 Pro. All the flagships we are going to do reviews on versus the OnePlus 15. So we are OnePlus 15 lovers over here. Now, let's get into the case. I opened it up just to take a look at it. Now, I have not used it on my phone. Normally, when I get these cases in, I use them for a few days because your average YouTube channel will just get it in the mail, slap it on the phone, tell you what it looks like. But I like to use mine for a few days and then tell you what I like, what I don't like. And I also have started including some B-roll, what it looks like in the sun, in the shade, outside, around town, at night. But with this one, this is one of the rare occasions I am going to take this out and just put it on this phone, because it's got a number. I want to show you the packaging. Normally when a case comes, it just comes in like with this Rinky case. A lot of times it'll just come in with something like this, right? And there's nothing to worry about. You take it out of the case, throw it on your phone. And normally that's what I do, but I use it for a couple of days and then I do the review, right? This one I did not do that, and let me tell you why. Is that all that comes in there? Yeah, that's all that's in there. It's because this has special packaging and it also has special instructions on how to install it. And I wanted to make sure everybody's clear on how to install it. It's a little tricky because if this does interest you, I did do the review of the Poetic, the Revolution. I did do a video review of the Poetic Guardian, and it's a similar thing. A lot of instructions. It comes with a tab down here, so if you want to use it for a few days before you do the review, you got to tear these tabs off. Well, I wanted to walk through it with you to kind of show you how to install it on your phone, because you got to take this thing apart, right? But in the box comes a thanks for your support card. Let's see, what is this? Dear customer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is this? Thank you for choosing Poetic. Okay, little installation guide. You can follow this or you can follow my video. Either one works. Now here's the thing. It comes with 1 or 2 screen protectors. It comes with 2 screen protectors here. Now I'm not going to install this screen protector on my phone, But I'm going to show you a little trick. Now, normally when you buy a screen protector, it comes with, what is it? The installation kit, the installation guide, right? Where that little, comes with like something like this, like a little border that you put around your phone, and then you can easily lay the glass down in. I'm going to show you a trick on how to install it without a installation kit and or installation guide. But that looks like real, Jesus Christ, it looks like real glass. A lot of these screen protectors, they say glass. It's not. It's like a plastic composite. This looks like real glass. It does not want to flex. If you can flex it too far, it's more than likely plastic. This feels like glass. It looks close to 100% clear. But I'm going to throw this to the side, and I'll show you how to install it on your phone here in a second. Again, comes with 2 glass screen protectors, comes with 2 installation kits. That's good. Oh yeah, and I'm not going to, but here's the deal. I'm not going to install it on the phone because, at least not right now, because I actually want to keep the stock screen protector that came on this phone. Yes, it is film, I get it, but I just find, for me, everybody's different. For me, my fingerprint works flawless when I have a very thin screen protector, and film is basically as thin as you can get. Now, once this gets scruffed up, and you can see 1 or 2 tiny little scratches in the screen protector, I'll probably take it off and put a glass screen protector on there. And when that time comes, I'll record a video. I know which one I want already, but let's move on to this case. So here we go. So the Poetic Revolution. Interesting case. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this tab off. It's telling you, please separate the front frame from the lower right corner. There's a little, let me see if I can get this thing on camera. There's a little tab right here. See that little section, that little cutout? That's where you can get a fingernail in. There's not one on this corner, and there's not any on any other corner. Just this bottom right. And that's where you're going to start. That's where you're going to take it apart to put your phone in there. And that's what this is telling you right here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take that off because I know how to install it. And then look, it tells you a second time right here. It says separating front casing from rear case. So we get that. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take, as a camera slide here, I'm going to take the foam out, and we're going to examine this case a little bit. So this is interesting because now it is a bulky case, right? Like, it's thick, it's got a lot of material, and it looks like it's made from TPU material. That's the hard, maybe poly. It looks like a TPU and polycarbonate PC composite, meaning a makeup of both. But one thing that's cool that I have not seen on a lot of these cases, it has a felt, you know, like when you get a silicone case and it has that felt liner inside. This has that same liner. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get a good look at it right here. This is fabric right here. That's fabric. And that's plastic, obviously, but nice touch. I guess they do that so when you do put your phone in there, it doesn't scratch this up. Not like you can scratch it anyways. You can just buff out anything that gets on there. But it is nice that it does have a soft touch fabric on the inside. You do get, let's see, 1, 2 big air pockets in each of the corners. So there's a couple air pockets here, a couple air pockets here, here, and here. And that just helps basically on impact. It's kind of like an airbag in a car, right? You got airbags here, just used to kind of make that impact less dramatic, right? So military grade standard drop protection. You got the labeling right there. Now look at this. You have, I think this is for design, and I think this is also for grip. You have these 3 little indentations right here on all 4 corners, and that might just be for grip and or added material here if it lands on the side. Now that's a hard, is that hard, or can you put your finger in it? Yeah, it's actually not hard, it's actually soft, So that's used just for added protection to absorb the impact if you drop it. It's actually bendable, not a lot, but just a little bit. All around the border is actually a TPU, a harder TPU, but it is bendable. And then this back plate is plastic, right? A polycarbonate. And you can bend it a little bit, but you don't want it to flex a lot. You want it to stay sturdy, because when your phone bends, that on impact, that's when you get cracked glass, right? You have this little sliding door right here. Now, one of these things you got to be careful about with these sliding doors. Over time, I can't think I've had one over time where the door comes off. Usually on these a little more pricey, and this isn't that pricey, it's $20, but it's not like you're buying a $7 or $8 case. That I would be worried about. But usually with with companies like Poetic, they usually design these pretty well. So I don't think that camera protector would fall out, pop off, anything like that. It seems to be a pretty good fit, but as you can tell, snaps right in. And from the inside, slides right open just like that. So you have full protection. So when you have this closed, when you have your screen protector on there, you're gonna be protected 100%, 360 degrees all the way around. Now to open up this, I think you pop your nail in there, just like that, right? Now don't worry, you're not gonna break it because it's meant to slide down just like that. And then it has a little section that it gets stuck in where you can use this to prop it up. Now we're going to put the phone in there, but I just wanted to show you the operation before. You can see it catches right there on the bottom before we stick the phone in there. And then you can also use it, I guess you can use it to stand it up, sideways or horizontal, vertical. And then I saw on one of the item descriptions on the picture, I think that guy had his finger in there. So I guess you could use it as like a prop to use the phone, I'm assuming, although it's not that comfortable. These little tabs right there, you can see one here and one down here. Kind of dig into your finger, quite honestly, but interesting. We will give it a try. So let's go ahead and take this apart. And I think it just snaps in place. Let me see. Yeah, just snaps in place right there. So let's go ahead and take this apart. So, and it has a tab here for the USB Type-C, cutout for the microphone, speaker, and then up top you have cutouts here. And then power button is has a grip added to it, and then you got volume down label, volume up label for the plus, and then you have an action button right here. These look really easy to push in. No issues whatsoever. They go in nice and easy. Lots of clearance right there. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart, see what we got here. So here's what you do first. Now, you're going to have to put some elbow grease into this. You're going to have to use a little bit of force. Don't worry. I don't believe you're going to break it. You have to separate this border around all the way around, right? So you want to get your finger in there, start separating it, because the inner part is going to have to come out, and you're going to have to put the phone in there, right? So let's go ahead and try to take this apart. Not easy. The first time is usually the hardest. After that, it's not so bad. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Let's see if we can take this out. There we go. Boy, that's a tight fit. There we go. The sides want to fold back in, want to reconnect with the frame, so just make sure you separate the sides and it pops right out. So that's the hardest part. Now, here's what we're going to do with the phone. You're going to take your phone, clean it up, make sure again, if you are going to take the screen protector off, the stock screen protector, and use one of these glass screen protectors, this is when I would peel this screen protector off, the factory screen protector, clean it up, use one of these installation kits, clean up the screen, get it smudge free. And then you're going to want to put this on the device just like that, right? So it's going to have a border around it. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in, and we're going to put it in the opposite way it came out. So we started at the bottom and then kind of worked our way towards the top, and then it came out. Well, now we're going to stick the top in first, and then we're going to finish it off by snapping in the bottom. So what you're going to do is simply, actually, let's take a look at this. So there is a lot of material in here. And this is the stretchy part, right? And that's in this frame, hard plastic frame is what gives it the rigidness. So let's go ahead and put this in here, put the top in first, snap it in there, and then kind of force its way in there. Now here's what you're going to want to do. Make sure you see this border, you see how it's separated right there? What you're going to want to do is try to snap that into place, just like that, and then go to the other side. Do the same thing. Now, here's what I would do with the screen protector. Since you have the factory screen protector off the film and you cleaned it up with the installation kit, I would go over it one more time. So make sure there's no dust, make sure there's no smudges. Use those stickers in there to stick off the dust and the lint. Once it's 100% clear of any smudges, clear of any lint, you can use the frame of this as an installation guide or an installation kit, right? So after it's nice and clean, there's no smudges, no lint, and you've taken your screen protector off, you can use the border of this to place this screen protector. So I'd simply peel it off, whichever way it goes. So you'd peel that off, and then what you're going to do, because look, this case comes right up to the border, but it doesn't mess with the stock screen protector. So if you're going to be like me and use this case but don't install the glass screen protector, it does not lift up on the factory screen protector. Let me focus. It wants to focus on that light. So check this out. Let's see here. You can see here, it just comes right up to it, but doesn't actually touch. See that? It does not actually lift up the factory screen protector. So you can still use, you would still be able to use the phone just like it is if you wanted to. But if you're going to use that as an installation guide, once you peel that off, what you're going to do is simply use that guide and lay your screen protector down. Just get it nice, get it lined up at the bottom. Put your finger in place once you have it lined up at the bottom, and then let it go just like that. Boom. And it'll go. It'll finally sit on there. And as you can tell, there's just a tiny bit of play, but not so much to where it's going to look crooked or you're going to put it on sideways or anything. So this is a pretty good guide. And if you choose to put on another case in the future, like take this off and put a thin-born case on or a spigen case, this case you're going to see most other cases are not going to come up and close, are not going to come up as far as this case, meaning most cases are not going to come up and over as far as this case. This is about as much protection as you're going to find. So most all other cases should fit with this screen protector, this glass screen protector installed is what I'm trying to say. But let's check this out. So here is the camera slide. As you can tell, it goes out a little farther to get the third sensor in there. Now let's look at the clearance, because is there a lot of clearance? Is there a lot of material? Is that going to protect your sensors? Well, if you leave it open, definitely. Look at that. there is a ton of protection for that sensor, because every now and then if I use one of these, I'll forget to close it after taking pictures, and last thing you want to do is drop it and break your glass that's on those sensors. So there's plenty of room, and it does not touch. That's the other thing. That's the other question that I get. When closed, does it touch that glass underneath it? It does not. If it did, you would see scratches. You would see little railways of scratches, tracks going across, and I don't see any whatsoever, actually. No, it's just a tiny bit of clearance. Watch this. Just a tiny bit of clearance. But it snaps right into place. And speaking of clearance, look how much clearance you have for the screen. So if you do lay your phone down, it's not going to touch the surface you lay it down on, right? It's not going to touch that whatsoever. Now, let's look at the cutouts. Cutouts look nice and precise on the bottom. There's your power. We're going to put the stock OnePlus charger in there. Test that out. Yep. That works. Cool. And I don't think this has, in fact, well, I don't know. Does this have a MagSafe in there? We're going to test it out and see. Hang on. Let's look up top. Up top, do the cutouts look good? Yes, the cutouts look good up top. Huh. Interesting. It's certainly a heavy-duty case. Let me grab a MagSafe accessory. And does it sit vertical? It sure does. Let me grab a MagSafe accessory and we'll see if there's a magnet in there. I don't think it does. And be careful when you have this sitting vertical, it does seem a little top heavy. So just be careful. Sideways, when it's horizontal, it's fine. It's not going anywhere. I don't believe there is a magnet in there, but let's find out. Let me grab some. All right, so I have my little MagSafe accessory right here. Let's see if it does. I don't believe it does. It does not. Because if there was, it would have to be in this channel somewhere, and there is a kickstand for it. Now, actually, you know what? So if you add a MagSafe accessory like this ring, you would not be able to basically use this kickstand. If you don't care about the kickstand, you can add a MagSafe accessory. You can get these on Amazon. Get them in like a pack of 3, 4, 5, whatever. Just peel that little tab off that sticker and just, kind of place it as center as possible. Be careful because, again, there is magnetic wireless charging in there, but I guess you could put it inside the case. But here's the other thing. It's so thick that if you put it inside the case, it may be too thick for the magnet on the wireless charger to pick this ring up, and it may not charge properly. So just beware. There's no magnetic charging, or if you do want to add magnetic charging, just be a little careful and just know that it might not work and or work as well as a standard case with a MagSafe ring in there. So if that's an issue for you, you might want to look elsewhere, but that's the Poetic Revolution. Interesting, sturdy, and definitely protection. So this would be good for anybody that's outside a lot that wants to protect their phone as much as possible. I wouldn't suggest it for indoor use. I know most people aren't like me where I have 100 cases. So I use cases for inside use only. I have cases I use if I leave the house, and then I have cases in times where I know that I'm going to be outside a lot. Like if I take the kids to Fiesta, Texas or SeaWorld or something where I'm going to be walking over concrete a lot, then I would possibly use something like this. But if I'm just running around town, I'm going to use something different. But everybody's different. I understand that. Maybe you just want to protect your phone as much as possible. This one is it. Now, if you want MagSafe, you could add the accessory, or you might want to look elsewhere. But one thing's for sure, this will definitely protect your phone from drops. Again, over 4,500 drops at 20 feet high survived. So, and that's with the screen protector on. Again, I'm keeping film on here, but that's up to you. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if there's another case you're interested in. I have a bunch here and more on the way that I'm going to do case reviews for the OnePlus 15. So appreciate the time. Have a happy holidays, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.